Namaste. It is very, on one side, very heartening that 12 activists boarded a civilian ship with a British flag, and they took relief material, humanitarian aid for Gaza, and they sailed towards Gaza. But it is very distressing that they were intercepted by the Israeli forces, and 4 of them have been deported and 8 of them have been detained. This is probably the first time in the history that we see that a country which is at war with another population, because Palestine does not enjoy the status of a country in United Nations, although countries like India do recognize it as a country. For the first time that a country in war against a population is using blockade of food, using starvation as a means of killing people, which includes large number of women and children, as it is the 54,000 Palestinians who have died in Gaza because of the sustained Israeli attack after the 7th October 2023 abduction of some 200 hostages by Hamas, and killing of about 1,200 Israeli citizens. Almost it has gone on continuously with few breaks when a truce deal was agreed to and some hostages were released. Otherwise, it has been a constant bombarding of Gaza, and the whole place has been destroyed. Not a single house there stands intact. Everything has been destroyed. The water supply has been damaged. The electricity has been disrupted. People are living in tents, and their only source of hope for survival is the food which is brought from outside by charitable organizations. But it is very disturbing that when an eminent climate justice activist, Greta Thunberg, who has taken a vow not to travel in an airplane, boarded a ship and along with other activists, and decided to openly come out in support of Palestinians at a time when most of the governments of the Western countries to where she belongs are taking a stand in support of Israel, rather than criticizing the genocide that it is carrying out. So it is remarkable that Greta Thunberg took this stand, and along with her 11 colleagues sailed towards Gaza, only to be intercepted by Israel. And this is not the first time that Israel is doing it. In 2010, when 6 ships traveled towards Gaza with humanitarian aid, and a ship called Mavi Marmara, which was a Turkish ship, was attacked by the Israeli forces, and 9 people were killed. Even at that time, these 6 ships were carrying humanitarian aid to Gaza. That is also the year when we, through a road route and part of it on ship from Syria to Egypt, we had taken 4 truckloads of humanitarian aid into Gaza with the help of money raised by the members of parliaments in Iran and by businessmen in Syria. We took aid to Gaza, but the ship which was sent by Turkey was attacked, and 9 people were killed, 30 people were injured. So, and even when we took the aid inside Gaza, we had to pay bribes, $4,500 to get the material offloaded on the shore of Egypt, and then $10,500 to take the material inside Gaza from the Al Rafah crossing. So the governments, the authorities make it so difficult. Either the Israel doesn't allow the aid to reach Gaza, or the Egyptian authorities, they extract bribes, from people who want to take relief material. This is so shameful. This is so distressing that a simple thing like things which are necessary for the survival of people, and these things cannot reach them because there are authorities who are vindictive, who don't want the Palestinians to survive, and they, in addition to carrying out bombardments, they are also using the choking of resources, the blockading of food and necessary items, so that the Palestinians have a difficult time in surviving. The Socialist Party India commends Greta Thunberg and her 11 colleagues who had this courage, which has not even been exhibited by the governments and their top leaders. Only South Africa came forward to file a case against Israel in the International Criminal Court. But except for that, the governments have generally not taken a clear stand against Israel, and have been, India for example, sometimes it votes in favor of Palestine, and at other times it supports Israel, and has not come out clearly in support of Palestinians like Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru did. So obviously our foreign policy has also changed, and this is shameful. We should have had the moral courage to take a stand like South Africa, which we didn't. But most of the Western countries who are in a position to influence the war, they are the ones who can stop the war. They have not taken this position, which is more shameful. And especially the role of United States of America. They have constantly provided money and arms and even personnel to Israel, and have ensured that Israel always has an upper hand, and they have protected it in the United Nations Security Council and international fora whenever the Israeli Prime Minister or Israel has been under attack. Recently, some European countries, also Australia, have taken a stand against two Israeli ministers. They have put some sanctions on them. They will not be able to travel to these countries, and may even get arrested if they go there. But these countries have to come together to confront the leading players in this genocidal war, and they are Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, and Donald Trump, the President of United States of America. Until these two gentlemen are confronted and convinced or cajoled or forced to stop the war, that will not happen. So while the other attempts by governments are worthy of praise, but they are not enough to stop this war. In such a situation where governments are not willing to take a stand, or dilly-dallying, not taking a clear position, it is remarkable that these 12 activists, most of them young, number of them females, they have taken this stand and have risked their lives because they knew that they could be killed like the 9 people who got killed on Mavi Marmara in 2010. But still Greta Thunberg and friends took this risk. They went there, they got detained, they got deported, and they stand up to the Israeli crime, and they have the courage to take on the Israeli authority. This is commendable, and we hope that they have more courage. and more people show this courage. There is a plan that on 21st about 10,000 activists will get together in Kahira, the Egyptian capital, and will start marching towards Gaza. Let's see how many of them are able to converge in Kahira, and whether the Egyptian authorities would let them march. But things like this, actions like this are required by the citizens when the governments are not taking action, to come forward and confront the criminal state of Israel, supported by equally criminal United States of America. These two are complicit in this crime, and they must be held accountable. Thank you.